proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off.
GadgetTV fik muligheden for at lave et telefoninterview med udviklerne bag actionrollespillet Bastion til Xbox Live Arcade. Så lyt med, når vi snakker med Greg Kasavin og Amir Rao om deres nyeste spil og hvordan det har været at lave det.
I think the biggest challenge in the implementation just comes it comes through the natural course of iterating on it and getting it to kind of feel just right. Because a part of the goal of the narration is to create to support the game's atmosphere, to create an immersive and atmospheric experience. But in order to achieve that, it has to sound perfectly natural. The timing of all the lines and whatnot, and that just that takes kind of a good deal of manual finessing just to get all the timings just right. And then in addition to that, we want to have unique moments in every single level, where often that comes from observation through playtesting will give us ideas for what to do there, and often we just try stuff and see what works and what doesn't. And then on top of all that, we have our kind of main high-level story goals where everything needs to tie back to the main story. So between all those different priorities, there are a lot of little things we need to keep track of, and in order to get that to feel just right, it just kind of takes time and iteration. It takes a certain number of passes. Amir, do you have?
No, I think what you're saying is correct. It's just getting that natural timing. Greg and I spent a lot of time doing that and making it all feel good when everything can happen sort of at the pace of the player. That can be a challenge. It can be very time consuming.
We haven't talked a lot about the themes of the story thus far. In part because we do want there to be a level of interpretation there. So we did very much approach the story writing from a thematic perspective, and what I would say about it is we're very interested in this scenario where all of the characters in the story have something that they've lost and something that they really want to regain. And that applies to kind of all of the different creatures you encounter in addition to any characters that you encounter. It's kind of a story about loss and how different people deal with that, and what they make of it and so forth, and any kind of regrets that they may feel around the things that they've lost and what have you.
No, it hasn't. I think the size limit is now up to 2 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Bastion is well under that. So we never ran into the issue with the size constraint, and we never had to make any design trade-offs as a result or anything like that.
Yeah, if anything, we were surprised at the technical wizardry our engineers pulled off in kind of reducing the game's file size, because it's about 560 megabytes or so, and even though we have all that audio and all that artwork in there, it scaled down quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, our team is basically focused entirely on the launch next week, and some people working on the PC version of the game, and that's pretty much it. Because we are 7 people, making a bunch of people available to focus on the various aspects of our launch, technical and exposure and all the stuff that we're working on. There's still ongoing stuff like that will happen until the day that Bastion comes out, and probably even beyond that. And then beyond that, the engineering team is focused entirely on making the PC version of the game and making sure that it feels very as good in its interface and everything else as it does on Xbox Live Arcade, where it'll come out next week. So beyond that, no, we are not currently working on our next game. We're focused entirely on Bastion.
Husk, at du kan se flere videoer fra GadgetTV på facebook.com/GadgetTVDK.